Hey folks, Darrell Gurney here with our weekly Back 40 broadcasts, where each week we're here to offer you a nugget or a nudge to help you make your second half of life your best half of life. And first off, just welcome. And this is our third broadcast. We are just doing what there's this phrase, talk the walk. No, walk the talk. And we're just walking the talk that we've been bringing up over the last couple of weeks about playing and getting out there and getting started. And I don't know if you've been here with us the last couple of weeks. Every week it's a little different because we're adding things and we're growing and really just looking to demonstrate for us and for you, our subscribers and viewers, what's possible when we just move forward and we don't have it all worked out. And that's one of the main themes of our Back 40 programs and philosophy is to get started, to get moving. Because a lot of times as we mature in life, we become risk averse and we don't even start getting on the path. And it's really getting on the path and learning as we go. We're really all about play here. So here's the thing, if you're interested in creating a radical next game for your life, and you believe, as Frank Sinatra sings, that the best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine, please join us each week here as we give you an idea, a thought, something to help you move forward into what your life, doing what you came here to do. You haven't done what you came here to do. Just for you to know. And we're supportive of you doing that and us doing that as well. Be sure to go to our website, the Back 40, F-O-R-T-Y. Hold on. Wait, hold. It's a little different here because it's backwards. Theback40.com. And you'll see what we're doing, our programs, our blog with ideas to help inspire and give you insights and in terms of what it's like to move forward and really play for the second half being the best half. And please join us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube as well. So let's get into what we're here to offer to you today. First off, I just want to see who's here, and I'm learning to play with the system here. So turning on the little chat, if you're here, just put your name down. Say who's here. I'm gonna actually say hi too. Hi everyone. Who is here? That's me. See, I've got my little icon there. So just tell us who's here. What's your name? Want to have you actually interacting. So you want to look to the right of your screen. There should be a chat bar there, and you can just at the bottom you enter whatever you want to say in the chat bar and it'll pop up. So let's talk about what we're here today for, and the topic today is MomenTums. And let me share my screen with you around that whole idea of MomenTums. And I don't know if you're actually getting the weekly email that comes out. It's the Jolt Note, Job Overhaul Life Transformation. And that comes out at 10 o'clock every Wednesday morning. And what we've started to do is kind of bring it to life here in our call. And what do we mean by MomenTums? Getting used to sharing my screen and not sharing my screen, so bear with me. So how many of you know what this is from? Tums. If you know what that is from, put it in the chat box. And if you grew up, if you're somewhat near the same age I am, that was the advertisement for the antacid Tums. And I remember I probably saw way too much television while I was growing up, because I remember way too many commercials and jingles and all of that. But what's the point of that is, what is Tums for? Well, when I grew up, it was for stomach acid, upset stomach, heartburn, indigestion. Now, when I got older, I found out it was a great source of calcium. So I would always have my Tums there and take a couple every day for calcium. But here's the point of Tums and MomenTums today is, when it comes to change, and when it comes to playing big games, you can't expect your stomach or your heart or your breathing to be the same. And what happens, let me bring up my little oh, okay, my screen share's up here. Thanks for bearing with me. By the way, like I said, we're just playing first here. Oh, did I close that? I think I did. Nope, there it is. Okay. So, oh, this is a great quote, by the way. This came out in our newsletter today. If you have the guts to keep making mistakes, your wisdom and intelligence leap forward with huge momentum. I'm not sure if y'all remember Holly Near, but she was a big inspirational leader from our times back in the 70s. But here's a few interesting ideas. Is that change, whenever you're going to take on something big, it's gonna get you outside your comfort zone. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you remember taking on big new things when you were younger. I remember when I was 25 or 26 and I started my first business. And I was literally walking around for a few months with what felt like a bowling ball in my gut. And someone very wise told me, just be with it. Allow it. Don't try to change the bowling ball. Don't try to get away from it, but allow it, because it's kind of like a doorway. It's kind of like a pathway whenever you're playing something big. And, many of us know that, what happens with anxiety is that the neurons start firing a lot faster. And what that does is it sends all these messages to different parts of your body, and it releases lots of chemicals, which cause your heart to beat faster, your breath to go faster. It's the fight or flight thing. And then you feel that pit in your stomach. And so I think as we mature, we not too excited anymore about those feelings. How many of you have heard people say, been there, done that, right? As we get older, we become risk averse because, we don't want to look bad. We don't want to fall on our face. There's people watching, what if I make a mistake? And again, that's what keeps many folks, as they get into the 40s, 50s, 60s, from taking big risks and creating big things. In our Back 40 Infused program, we actually go through a list of people that created things in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that you know their names, but they didn't even create it until then. And so what we're inspired to do, and what we're sharing the inspiration of, is, what if you haven't done what you came here to do? And it's going to take getting outside the comfort zone. It's going to take being with the upset stomach, being with the challenge, and going through it anyway to create something. So here's a couple other thoughts to consider. And isn't it fun that I'm just playing and learning this as I go along with y'all here? I googled, how many celebrities experience nervousness? How many sports figures experience anxiety? I really encourage y'all to go look this up, because you'd be amazed at the people that are out there playing big games, at what they actually go through. And you know, my partner in the back 40, Alexandra, it's interesting. Her mother is actually on the watch out for me now, because her daughter is doing things that she never used to do before, and her old friends are even checking in on her, like, why are you doing these things? Like, a ropes course where you're jumping off of a 40-foot telephone pole to grab a trapeze. Why are you jumping out of airplanes? And it's really interesting in the sense that Alexandra's now kind of taken on this idea that if she feels that pit in her stomach, then it's actually a sign that that's what there is to do, and there's to move forward. As opposed to, let's go away from that feeling of the pit in the stomach. As a matter of fact, whenever she got the newsletter today, she gets it at the same time everyone else does, so she's always interested and surprised to see what comes out. She said, what it reminds me to always keep in mind is that the pit in my stomach equals growth. So what I am going to challenge all of us to do this week is to really look to see, what is something that we've entertained as part of our life, that we've wanted to have in our life, or that we've envisioned that we would do, whether it's to write the book, whether it's to start salsa dancing or a new hobby, and to actually take an action to forward that. It was really interesting. Well, this is a little bit of an aside, but one of our alumni, Back 40 alumni, was on our weekly coaching call this week. And he really, I think, spelled something out that was inspired me. And he said that he had spent the weekend with folks who have, retired or semi-retired, and they've, done their big things, and they're kind of established, and they have the homes, and they don't need to go out and do anything. And he said that what he saw about himself, though, that he really admired, is that he's up to something. And that's not to say retirement, I'm not making it wrong, okay? I am just of the opinion, and would ask everyone to entertain, like, what could be something even not beyond retirement, but like, how do you want to go out? Do you want to go out playing? I've just, in my career world work, I've noticed that people live like retirement is going to solve everything. And very often they'll call me back 6 months or a year later and say, well, you know what? Golf and Mai Tais on the beach wear out pretty quick. And so I think there's a sense of purposeful living. There's a sense of being, quote, up to something that I think is the juice that can make the second half, even up into someone's 90s, really make life worth living. So what I would offer for us to play this week, and you know what? I got to be honest, I'm sitting here talking because we haven't worked out the chat system yet, because it looks like I'm the only one that's chatting. And if y'all have been chatting and you're chatting with one another, great, keep it up. Maybe next week we'll figure out how I can see the chat that's going on, the comments. But what I would like to throw out there for this week, in terms of the game for us to play, is to pick something. Pick something that you've pondered to do in your second half. Here's what's really important, though. Get a buddy to play with you. So enroll somebody to play this game with you. Have them pick something. And folks, look, pick to the point of pit in the stomach, okay? In other words, if you're going to play, let's actually have you, stretch. So pick something you've pondered to do and schedule to take some big action forward with that. And just here's the thing, be aware of and notice the chemical rush, especially if you can imagine you're just about to jump out of the plane or you're just about to jump off of that zip line. And, there's going to be a chemical rush. Go for that this week. Go for finding one. Go for creating one. And then just go through the rush and see what's on the other side. And I think, as Alexandra, my partner, has realized, she's now got a quote that she picked up from another one of our great friends. If you can't, then you must. So look to see this week what you can put yourself in the face of that I really can't. I can't do that. And see what happens when you go past the can't and you play that you must. And I would suspect and foresee that the level of confidence and the joy in beginning to stretch yourself to play bigger and bigger will arise out of that. So, post what you see on the Facebook community, the Back 40 on Facebook, where we'd love to be interacting with you. And here's another quote I just want to share as we wrap up today. Look, even if you fall on your face, guess what? You're still moving forward. So I really want to challenge, and I'm going to take it on myself as well. Let's go forward this week, one way or the other, even if it's falling on our face, because then we've learned something and we have something to share about. So thanks for joining us again, and we're still working out our kinks here to keep bringing you the message and interact with you. And if you got value out of this today, get on Facebook, join our Back 40 on the Facebook, and let us know what you got. And we look forward to playing with you more every Wednesday at noon here. So have a great radical Back 40 week.